There's been a JK Rowling, I don't know if how you say her name properly, story this week. I think it's not that interesting, I guess, but I'll see what it's about. Because it's about transphobia, so it's relevant to things we talk about on this show. But she has made. Should we go with GB News or something like that? Right, yeah. So Jeremy Vine. Should we go with Jeremy Vine? That's a random one to go with. He said she won't forgive Harry Potter stars because the stars of Harry Potter have stood against her. Rightly so, because she's the total wrong and transphobe. Like, she said some of the most ridiculous, stupid right-wing things and anti-cancel culture nonsense that we've ever seen. So I'm just interested in what that's about.
Story in the Mail. Now, we've got the tweet here, but it's all about JK Rowling, who it turns out, is cross about the young actors. Actually, let's see the tweet here. So she says, this is kind of an interchange, and Rowling says, celebs who cozied up to a movement, the trans movement, intent on eroding women's hard-won rights and who use their platforms to cheer on the transitioning of minors can save their apologies for traumatised detransitioners. So Dan, you see, it's a reference to right. Dan and Emma, who are, let's remind ourselves, Daniel.
So she's one of these that takes the angle that eroding women's hard-won rights. Early on, I used to kind of get turned by them comments there, because I obviously do respect there's a conversation that we must not remove women's rights, and so I say we always got to listen to women leading conversations about women's rights, but same way we got to listen to trans people, men and women, who, when we're talking about issues that impact them, do you know what I'm saying? And there has to be intersectionality, and through my conversations, I don't pretend to know the most about transphobia, trans rights, and their experience. I want to know more. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something I need to touch on more in these shows. But from speaking to women about it, who I know who are feminist women, they've kind of told me that kind of what do they call it? TERF. She's called a TERF, isn't it? Trans exclusion, whatever. Sign. The TERF narrative is not it, and not generally respected in most kind of feminist women's equality spaces. So I think a lot of the time it's weaponized, is what I've gathered from what I've learned. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, I don't pretend to be an expert. I'm sure there is conversations to have, but that's conversation for those communities to have, innit? Obviously, JK Rowling is a woman, so that's cool. She can have that conversation and put. I don't think it's my position to lead that conversation myself. But most of the time, the people I get coming at me about this, who share this stuff to me, is men, innit? Men who I know don't care about women's rights. So they'll weaponize her, attack me with it, and go, look at this. You need to stop these trans people and stop these agendas, transitioning minors. All of this stuff that's not really happening anyway. Do you know what I'm saying?
Radcliffe and Emma Watson.
Emma Watson, yeah.
And that's quite a direct attack, Susanna.
I think it is, but what I'm unclear about, Jeremy, is where this came from originally, whether Daniel and Emma Watson attacked JK Rowling personally, or whether they were just championing transitioning.
The answer is that she was not invited to some sort of Harry Potter ceremony, anniversary event, and it was clear that they are pro-trans, all of that, and they don't like what she thinks. And that's been an ongoing thing.
And now the cast report has come out.
Yeah. What do you think, Nigel?
I think Harry Potter, let's
I wonder if they're going to show their actual tweets, because I can't remember what they've said, but I've seen some of the stars of Harry Potter speak out against her.
But JK Rowling...
I think, actually, if it's true that those actors have dissed JK Rowling, I think it's disloyal.
Yes, I
because
agree.
she has made them into multi-millionaires.
But they don't agree with her.
No, she hasn't.
I think you should...
No, she hasn't. Like, fix up, for a second. They have done jobs and been paid for their work Yeah, that's like, don't like get out of here. That's like saying a person who works in McDonald's should never talk bad about McDonald's if McDonald's do something wrong. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, she hasn't personally done anything for them. Yeah, she writ something. They went for a role. If they didn't go for that role, they could have gone for a different one. Yeah, they probably could have done other roles. You can't. They can't only do so much work. That's a ridiculous point.
Just be quiet about that. If there's no need, it's happening. Don't be disloyal to the person who created you. I mean,
I don't think they've attacked her directly. I mean, the closest quote I can find is in this piece is, I think it's Daniel Radcliffe who said, there are also people who have a slightly condescending but well-meaning attitude of people are young and it's a huge decision. He clearly meant JK Rowling.
Yeah.
And Emma Watson said, trans community, people like me, we see you, we understand you, you are who you are. In contrast to what she, I think, by implication, what JK Rowling thinks. It's really interesting because JK Rowling normally does not show weakness, but in that tweet storm that she posted yesterday in response to the cast report, she actually said, I'm in tears now, because she felt so vindicated by what Cass said.
Playing victim, man.
But I don't think this argument has stopped, and and she's at the head of one side of it.
Well, and she actually said, you know, they cannot be safe in the...
Listen, she's done an amazing thing to say this is what I believe, and I'm going to tell everybody this again and again and again.
Because we live in a democracy, you can say...
You can't say what you like.
It's the only way we can educate ourselves better is by having debate.
But it's so...
I don't know much about this. Like, I mean, I've seen Jeremy Vine before. I don't think I have for many years. There's right wingers, the rest of them, but it's what's to be expected.
Toxic. Because
It's
people get
become so
cancelled.
toxic
She's
that people
virtually
are-
been cancelled by some people.
Yeah, people
Toxic
are
because of-
terrified
Shut
to
up.
speak
Yeah,
their
you
minds.
Nobody's
You
getting
can't
cancelled.
talk, you can't communicate. And if you can't communicate, we can't learn.
I mean, there are some people who say she can't be cancelled because she's a multi-billionaire and she's got how many million followers on Twitter. But yes,
Exactly.
you're right. There are certain events that will no longer invite her, even though she's a creator of the whole franchise.
That's very normal that events don't invite people. There's plenty of events I can't go to, you know. Plenty of events I can't go to because there's people there that don't like me. Some events I just don't go to, innit? You know what I'm saying? Damien Rice said transphobic tropes aren't a great thing to spread. Of course not. Not one bit, man. So yeah, it's ridiculous. And no, she's not being cancelled. She can do whatever she wants. Like, you just can't go to certain places. You get barred. Do you know how many times I got barred from clubs when I was young and I used to be out partying and I used to drink? I was barred. I was barred from loads of places because I said stupid things to the bouncer. Or, do you know what I'm saying? That's life. Things you say, things you do, how you treat people will get you removed from spaces. That's not cancel culture. Yeah, it's accountability. And as I've said a million times, yeah, I will always say this whenever the concept of cancel culture comes up. Cancel culture is just a buzzword created by the right, created by right-wing voices who want to push to be able to normalize hate speech, right? But the thing I always say is actually it's capitalism. Because the people who are so, oh my God, it's cancel culture, oh my God, cancel culture is ruining everything, are the same people who attack socialism, yeah, who attack equality, who push and fight for capitalism. But cancel culture, literally, the definition of what is actually happening is just capitalism. It's just people who hire others for jobs saying, no, I don't want to hire you anymore. I don't want to pay you for this service because you're bad for business. That is how capitalism works. That's actually how democracy, as he's just claimed, works. But he's saying, oh, it's a democracy so you can say what you want. No, it's a democracy so you can say what you want, and yet that means you face the consequences. Minor threat recording said behaviour has consequences. Yeah, exactly, 100%, man. So what a bunch of nonsense. Get JK Rowling out of here. But, you know, I've never watched a Harry Potter film. People might think that's mental. I've never actually watched a Harry Potter. Actually, I'm lying. What am I talking about? Because at one point, when my daughter loved them. My mum bought her the box set when she was too young to watch the later ones, but she watched them. And she used to watch the whole box set, 8, 9 movies, all the way through. I don't know how I survived not watching them when she was watching them all the time. But when she was around 10, 11, like a bit older, I was like, cool, let's watch them through together. And we did 1 and 2, and then we didn't continue. And I didn't really enjoy it that much. And everyone told me, wait till you get to number 3 onwards, you're going to enjoy it. And we just never got round to it. And that was when she was just coming over to stay with me on weekends. She lives with me now, but she's a grown up, so maybe we'll do it one day.